Good afternoon. So I'm going to go ahead and try to attempt the elephant. I'm also showing you this time one of the resources I've used to learn a lot of these folds. It's called the Buck Book. It's actually a really nice, fun book. It actually comes with a dollar bill or two inside of it. I can't remember now. But it has really wonderful patterns. So we're going to just look at the one we're going to be looking at. So this is the elephant, but it shows you places where you crease things, and it gives it pictures in reference to the dollar bill. Now be aware my directions on this are kind of terrible because I usually just kind of do it from memory and I never really do it the same. So I'm going to be looking at this book while we're doing this today, just to make sure I'm kind of giving you clear directions. And at the end, I will probably come back through and just flip through the pages so that way you can pause it and look at the book for the pattern for this particular one. This one is pretty tough. It says up here, you automatically become a member of the Buck Folding Hall of Fame if you complete this one. It's not that bad, but it does take a lot of steps and it is going to be a little time consuming. So we're going to go through how to fold the elephant out of the dollar bill. I'm going to be using this book as we go so that I can make sure I'm kind of giving you really nice directions that are consistent. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half, much like we did that t-shirt fold. And we want George Washington on the inside. And the only reason we're folding it in half right now is because we want this crease. So you want to make sure you get a really good crease. Use your fingernails. A pencil along the table works really well. If you set it down on the table and just rub the pencil along it. But we need a really solid crease here because we're going to do a lot of fold and unfold. And if you see the elephant, that middle crease line is what's going to fold his entire body in half. So we've got to make sure it's really solid to help us get this done. So then now, once you get a really good crease there, so I thought I had it upside down. You're going to take it and open it back up, and then we're going to make folds like a paper airplane again. So you're going to take just this top corner here. You want to fold it down to where it lines up with that center crease. We do not want these to overlap. It's going to make the fold a little thicker and harder to do. And I don't know that I folded it perfectly, so I may have to adjust a little bit. If it overlaps, it just makes it really hard to get it to refold in that center seam to get your elephant to set up right. It's also going to make it hard to deal with the trunk in a minute because what we're folding right now is the trunk. So what you should be creating are two congruent triangles here. Again, they're from being folded down, and you can see mine are a little bit off. Not perfect, imagine that. Then you're going to take this edge that you folded, so this edge right here, and you're going to fold it also towards that middle crease. And again, we want to watch out to not be overlapping them. And this is one of the ones that's a little tricky because you got to get it folded in half again right there, so it's going to make it a little more pointy. So again, kind of reminiscent of paper airplane folding. And we want to, again, be careful to not get it overlapped because that's going to cause us issues in a minute when we have to fold it all back down. And so it wouldn't hurt to get decent creases here, but this is going to stay folded for the rest of the time. All right, so then now once you've done this, what we're going to do is with the George Washington to the inside, I don't know why I keep sliding that to the end of the table, you're going to take the sharp tip here that will be the end of the elephant's trunk, and you're going to fold it up right to the edge of the paper, and you want it centered at that center crease, and we're going to press down there. Okay, so we just want a nice solid crease here. And then we're going to flip the dollar over. And we're going to take this piece, so turn it this way, we're going to take this piece here, and we're going to fold it back to the last fold we made. So we're going to fold it back like this. So this is what it should look like now. Okay. Once you fold it, you're going to unfold it. Okay, now this is the part that gets kind of tricky. You want to take this fold, but you don't want that triangle there to get folded under. You want to take the fold itself and roll it to this center fold we just made. So leave the triangle sticking out. Let me show you again. So you're going to take this fold that we just made, and you should be able to see the crease. Let me make it a little more visible. Okay, so when we folded it like this, what we did was we created a crease right here, and we're going to take this fold and roll it over to that center fold, and we're going to flatten this out. Now this part isn't going to unfold, but you do want it pretty solid. All right. The next step is you're going to take this side here and you're going to fold it under. So we're going to turn it over to be able to see it better. And we're going to fold this part here to that center crease and flatten it out. Okay, so just like this. When you turn it over, this is what we should see. Okay. All right, now we're going to unfold what we just did, or kind of refold it. We're going to take this fold right here. Oh, I take it back. My bad. I'm having to read the directions, remember. I'm going to take this fold, the edge of this triangle, the base of this, what should be an isosceles triangle. We'll get a little vocabulary in here if it kills me. You're going to take the base of this triangle, and you're going to fold it up to the edge of the other fold. And I went a little too far. Okay, so you want it to line up there so that they're even. Okay, there we go. Okay, now what we've done there is we've started to kind of shape his legs. The next thing we're going to do is work on shaping the trunk a little bit more. So we're going to take this triangle piece and we're going to fold it back across like this. You want to get that to fold down pretty good. It's not going to get unfolded. And then we're going to take it and you want to put it just, I don't know, maybe 1/4 of an inch from the edge of this fold. So you're going to take it back. And so this is kind of shaping his ears. And you're going to fold it right there like this. So first we folded it back this way, and now we folded it this way. And again, remember, this is a video, so you have the opportunity to pause, to rewind, to look at it again, to try to figure it out. And I will tell you, this is a pretty difficult fold, but the more you practice it, the better you'll get at it. I can do it from memory now, and I generally don't follow the order of the pattern every time. I promise you they're a little different every time I fold them because of that, but they're pretty fun. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to unfold this part. So let me not freak you out too much. You're just going to flip it over, take this piece and just unfold it. And we're after that crease that we have there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to roll again. So let me put it down where you can see it. You're going to kind of pinch this part that we had created a fold at, and you're going to roll it again to that center fold. So you're rolling it over. So let me go back over it. So we had it like this, right? We had that piece folded over. We're going to open that up because we don't want to fold this rectangle down. We only want to take this fold and roll it to that center crease we made a while back and flatten it out. Now, when you do that, when you flip it over, you're going to have this lovely rectangle. So this rectangle is what is going to enable you to make his feet shapes. So you're going to fold it over to this side or flip it over to this side. And then you're going to take the top layer only of this paper and you're going to fold the corner. And you want this corner to create one little tiny triangle that lines up with this fold that we can kind of see, I hope. Yeah, see it? It's going to line up, one side of that triangle is going to line up with that fold. So you're going to just fold it over. It should make a lovely little right triangle. If I did this absolutely perfectly, we're going to do this on every corner. All 4 of these would be congruent. I can already tell it's not perfect. The perfection isn't super important because we're going to use this to do something else in a second. But we do want it to line up with those folds. And you'll see there's another fold over here on this side. It's a little harder to see. I don't know if I can make you see that a little better. Kinda. So do you kind of see that crease there? So that's what we're going to fold up to here on both of these as well. And so we're just getting these 4 little triangles in the corners. And so that was on the rectangle side when you flipped it over. And again, if you have to rewind, look at it again. Hopefully it makes sense. All right. Now, these are just for the creases. They're not going to stay there. So we need to really get good, solid creases on these folds. Okay, once you do that, you're going to unfold them all. All right. And then this is the other tricky part. I said there were a lot of those. You're going to stick your finger kind of just underneath this first layer of paper, and you want to kind of push it down. When you push it down, you'll be able to flatten it out like this, and you'll see we've created a separation of this paper. So we're going to see it again on this side. So we'd folded those triangles, and now we've unfolded them. You're going to lift up just the top layer. And now my hand's in the way. Just this top layer here, and you're going to pull it. And when you pull it, those triangles that you made should be able to flatten out and make your legs. Okay, now we're getting close, very, very close. The next thing we need to do is we need to work on the tail and finishing this back half of the elephant. So the first thing you're going to do that, and I'm going to pick it up off the table real quick, is you're going to take this piece that's sticking out, that rectangle I told you not to fold a minute ago, and you're going to fold it all the way over to where it's flush over here. So where it's even with everything that's folded down. And you're going to get a nice solid crease in that. So all we did was take that rectangle that was sticking out, this little piece that was sticking out, and folded it over. Okay, now we're going to make his tail. So to do that, it's very similar to the t-shirt also. You're going to stick your thumb underneath this top layer, and you want to just pinch right here where that center crease is. And you're going to just kind of hold on to that, and this is probably the most difficult part. I didn't quite get it on the center. Okay, so you pinch right here at the center crease. Try again. And you're going to push it back inside and just pull that little piece out. I kind of tore the paper that time. Again, you've got to be real careful if you're using actual paper and not dollar bills. Dollar bills are a little more forgiving because they're more of a cloth-like material. But that should stick out his little tail. And so let me show you one that went a little more successful. So see the little tail? All right, now we pretty much should be able to see the shape of the elephant at this point. So this is the elephant. The only thing we have remaining is actually shaping the trunk. And you're going to shape the trunk with creating pleat folds, which we've seen, I think, in the dollar bill a little bit. So it'll actually call it a pleat in the little book when I show you that pattern. What you're going to do is you're going to put a finger underneath this triangle that we created to make the trunk. And you're going to kind of just push here at what would be the top of his head. And it is going to be a little hard because the paper's pretty thick. And you want to just push it in, and you got to kind of just manipulate it around with your hand. I don't know how centered I had this one. And you flatten that out, and that pleat fold is going to push the trunk down. So let me show you again now that I've kind of got it set. You open it up like this, and you push in with your finger. And then when you get it to where it's even and it's going to be in the center fold and it's going to be able to fold down that trunk, that's where you stop. Okay, so that's got my trunk pointed down. I don't really want that, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to repeat that. So I'm going to go right here and push. So again, I'm going here and underneath on this side, I'm pushing it up so that my trunk comes back up. And then most of the time it looks a lot better if you do it one more time on this little bitty edge, and this one is really hard. So besides the tail, shaping the trunk is probably the hardest ones. You do it one more time, and then you'll have your elephant. And so that's what he looks like at the end. That's probably not my best elephant in the world. I was a little nervous making this video. This one's always the one that hurts a little in class too. So let me show you the pattern book again. So we're going to go back, and it has a lot of steps. So we're going to go back to the beginning. So I showed you this page. We're going to see if I can get it up a little bit more. So this is step 1. Okay, here's step 2 and 3. And hopefully you can actually see, I think, 4 and 5 also. So we'll just leave those there for a minute. Let me get my, I don't know if it records my pointer on there. I don't think it does. All right, I'm going to go to the next page. So this is 6 through 9. And again, the point in this is so that you can stop it and look at it. Next one is 10 through 12. And the fun thing about this book is it's got lots of cool little just fun facts about money. Then we got 13 through 16. And so that was where we were getting really close. We could see the shape. I did the tail first before the trunk. I think they do the tail last. Oh no, there they do it. So there's the tail. And then here they're talking to you about those pleat folds and how you get those accomplished. I believe they do a fold back and a fold over. I like the pleats better, but you can definitely do this strategy as well. So this is the last few steps there. And so I'm hoping the video helped you. I'm hoping seeing the pattern helped you. I would highly, highly recommend buying this book. It's got lots of fun patterns. This was the one that taught me to do the elephant. We will probably look at their dollar bill ring later on. And like I say, I'm more than open to looking at more patterns if you just let me know which ones you're interested in and we can try to work on those. So if you're interested in a fun book to take up the hobby of dollar bill origami, this guy is definitely a winner. I hope you guys have a good day and this gives you something to do while you're sitting at home. See you soon.